Welcome to another edition of Unsexy Businessmen, where we talk about all things entrepreneurship and unsexy businesses. I am Alex Skinner, as always, joined by my brother Aaron Skinner, and today we're gonna be doing an episode for my father-in-law Ben Nye. If you live in the Northern California, Davis, Dixon, Sacramento area, looking for a contractor, have highly recommend him. He sent me this video a couple of weeks ago of Tony Bennett. That's not his name. What's that guy's name? Tony Robbins. Of Tony
What's
Robbins talking about AI and how if you're not ready in the next 3 months, AI is absolutely going to eat you up. So today we want to talk about AI's impact specifically on the unsexy businesses that we primarily deal with. So your carpet cleaners, janitorial cleaning, skilled labor, etc., unskilled labor, etc., etc. Aaron, are you scared of AI?
No, I'm not. And this is something I've been championing ever since AI became a thing, because the expertise that I had with my cleaning business, AI would have just been a benefit. Like all these unskilled labor, because I hate calling them unskilled labor. Like, you have to have skills. What we mean when we say unskilled labor is we're just talking about you don't have to go to college in order to do. I guess some of, like, plumber you do, electrician you do, but that's like a trade school. So you don't have to get a degree, a master's degree to do this. So when we're saying unskilled labor, it's not like we're talking
It's
bad.
big education came up with a name to make people feel crappy for not going to college. That's
Right.
so they came up with, oh, this is unskilled because you didn't go to college.
Exactly.
So
And
fuck college.
Yeah. And, I was saying, fuck LinkedIn. Yeah. So these are if you want to start a business, start a business that is literally AI proof. I say this all the time. I don't think within our lifetime we're going to have a robot that's going to be doing like carpet cleaning, that's going to be an electrician, that's going to be a plumber, that's going to do window cleaning. There might be some aspects of like roboticism for some of these things, but it's never going to completely, and again, in our lifetime, completely take over and make your business obsolete. It's more, what's nice about AI is it's great for unskilled labor businesses. It's great for like marketing and coming up with, maybe some business ideas or strategies with that, or business cards or whatever it is. Like, AI is a giant benefit for our types of businesses. And I like it a lot. I'm not scared of it all, because there is just a massive demand for these types of jobs that we represent in this podcast. And it's a kind of a good feeling. Everyone's kind of freaking out about AI, that it's going to destroy all of these different jobs. Guess what? It's not destroying any of these unsexy businesses.
Yeah, I think the CEO of NVIDIA, whose name I cannot pronounce, so I won't try to, but the CEO of NVIDIA was talking about how obviously NVIDIA chips, doing a lot of stuff, working with different AI companies to build out their portfolio, make their chips work even better, yada, yada, yada. He's like, there's going to be a huge gap in these unsexy, he didn't call it unsexy businesses. It would be cool if he did, but these unsexy businesses, and we're going to be stealing jobs from all of these white collar workers with AI. So if you are not doing it now, you're going to be behind and losing out to people. I'm already seeing it a ton. Like, as someone who does, I guess what you would call white collar work with marketing, it has been a huge benefit to me in reducing overhead costs for staff and allowing us to have this competitive advantage of people who aren't willing to make the jump sooner rather than later, of stealing their clients because they are charging way too much. Literally, a conversation that I just had with somebody was, yeah, we can do, they told me what they needed. It was like, with our AI tools, we can do that for like $15,000. They're like, we are paying $60,000 a month right now for all of these things. I'm like, well, hey, I just gave you a really low number, so I guess that sucks for me, but $15,000, and I always bake in a little extra for us. I'm still happy. I'm still happy with that number. Like, all right, let me talk with our team. Like, I think they'd be nervous to have like such a low number. Let's go to the 20,000. So for white collar workers, yes, you should definitely be afraid. I've already seen it. And how I know you should be afraid, when I am seeing posts that are like, AI is never going to replace designers. AI is never going to replace copywriters. AI is never going to replace this or that. I automatically go, yes, it is. If you're having to
It's already
write about it,
happening.
yeah, I'll tell you what, like, I'll tell you who's not like writing posts on LinkedIn: carpet cleaners, janitorial workers. They are not writing any posts about like, oh, AI can't take my job, because you don't need to, you don't need to. You're secure in the jobs that you have. But I do agree with you, Aaron. You need to be taking full advantage of this while you can, to like, I would say the biggest thing is like streamlining your marketing efforts, and not just your like marketing efforts, but your like remarketing efforts. You have a client who comes in. Let's just have the AI automated chatbot conversation that I look over, and go get these people to be repeat customers and come back, repeat customers and come back, because that is where I see the biggest opportunity. And guess what? You don't have to hire someone for that. You just have to spend some time learning and figuring it out. What for you, Aaron, like what has been like the way that you've gone about implementing using it,
Using AI.
or like just learning how to use it?
It's mostly for like content ideas. Like when you're making a bunch of videos all the time, it's really nice to be, and you're like, I think I've said everything. But you haven't. And so you can go to ChatGPT like, hey, here's the transcripts for all of these videos. What am I missing as far as what people need for information on building a business or whatever it is? And they can be like, hey, it looks like you missed this, this, and this. This might be a good video idea. And so that kind of helps. And sometimes it's wrong, like, to be completely honest, or sometimes I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. And so you still have to have like your actual knowledge and experience to weed out the bad ideas that it gives you. But it's nice. It at least gives you like a starting point. Like, oh, I do like that. And then you can kind of pick and choose of that. So probably just like video content and ideas for that has probably been how I've used it the most
Yeah, and
in
then you
like
can
Unsexy Businessmen.
use that on your website, using that on your social
Yeah.
profiles,
Mm-hmm.
using it on your Google business
Oh,
profile, before and
the
afters.
like emails. I think emails is great because I'm not like this super articulate writing out an email. And so I'll put the gist of what I want to send to somebody. And then I'll be like, hey, can you make this sound better? And that's really nice because it's like this really professional email I can send over to my, my broker or whoever, and say broker. I don't mean like bookie. I mean like for our real estate broker, and just stuff like that. So it's nice for emails as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure you could automate that with something as well. I haven't had the need to automate emails yet. Like, I do use things like Gemini to help with creating stuff,
Mhm.
but there I haven't needed an automation software where, like I said, I think the biggest thing for the businesses that we deal with is follow up of like, hey, do you need this again? Do you need this again? And like, you just turn it on autopilot and you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, and I'm like, obviously, I did not have AI at all when I was building my business, but that's exactly what I would have used it for. I would have used it for organizing all of my customers, giving me reminders of when to call them again. And then you could have it set up so like AI knows. I mean, I don't know how bad it is with this like personal information or whatever, but like where you can put, hey, this is John Smith. He got his carpets cleaned. John likes to do that. Like I had a conversation. His son was in a wrestling tournament or whatever it was. Like, remind me to ask him about that. And then you have all of these like notes that you can use to just keep that relationship going. But yeah, and there's like scheduling tools. There's so much stuff that you could use to make your life easier using AI, and it would have been really cool to have.
Yeah, according to a survey by House Call Pro, 40% of pros actively use AI, and it's primarily for content, marketing, and admin work. So the things that Aaron and I have been talking about right now. So when I was having this conversation with my father-in-law, and he sent it over, I was just like, start using it. I think that would be like number one, like start using it, figuring out like ways to use it. But I'm going to go into my buyer beware mode right now. I do feel like this is like the dot-com bubble that I don't remember, but I was alive for, where it's like everyone is creating tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of tools. So you're going to ask yourself like, well, how do I know which tools to use? Or how do I know who is the true AI expert? Remember, AI has been like significant, and I hate the term AI. It's not even really that AI yet. They're still just LLMs. I always forget that as latent language learning models, LLM, just a second. Large language model. There we go. They're primarily just large language models who input, output, input, output, input, output. They're not true like intelligences that are like creating stuff yet. So I just want to make sure I say that out loud. But there's going to be a lot of people out there. And I know this for a fact because I'll give everyone a little tip on content creation if you are running a website that needs regular content added to it. This is a multi-$1,000 savings that I'm about to give you. You go to the very first result for a question that someone would have about your product or service. You take that, you put it into your AI of choice, give it a little information about your business and the way that you like to talk. Make sure that you have your voice and tone with it, your opinions added, and say, rewrite the article. I have someone who does this for me who also does work with someone else. They create articles that are incredibly successful for my clients in 1 minute. In 1 minute. It takes them 1 minute to make that. And so if you're thinking about scale, and then another service provider that they use and do work for, it takes them approximately 10 to 20 minutes to create an article in this really, really awesome, cool setup. There are going to be people who overcomplicate it to make you think you are dumb. You are not dumb. This is someone who is selling you not snake oil, because it works. Don't get me wrong, it works. But it's way too expensive and takes up way too much time when all you need, especially if you're doing a lot of the businesses that we are working with, you just need some content on your site. You just need some social posts. You just need some stuff done. Like, don't overcomplicate it. Just start using it, practice with it, and start using free trials of tools and figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. All right, off of soapbox.
But that's a good point. Like, don't pay someone to do this. Just go on there and mess around with it. Like, just get yourself familiar with what it can do and then figure out how it can help your business. Like, there's no reason you need to pay some AI expert to do this. Like, just go on to ChatGPT or Gemini, or like you said, your choice of AI tools, and figure out, just start messing around with it, figure out what works, and then do it yourself. Don't pay someone thousands of dollars to do this, especially when you're starting a business and money is tight. That's not one of the places where you should be spending your money.
And I would say this radically makes it easier for you to start a business. With Keystone, we have the awesome margins that we have. Like, I just feel very fortunate that we started when we did. I got fired from my job. ChatGPT was around before this. I got fired from my job February of 2023. And then ChatGPT, I believe, started to offer its subscription service in March. Maybe it was even February. And then that is how I was able to build the example that I already gave of $60,000 to $15,000. Now, obviously, that's an agency, a marketing agency that we're talking about here. How can you use that? You don't have to do what Aaron did when he was starting a company where he's paying an SEO company. How much money were you paying them? I don't know.
It was like $1,500 a month.
$1,500 a month. So now you're saving $18,000 a year by creating stuff yourself, and it takes you a fraction of the time that it used to. And then second, how much did you pay for a website?
I built my own website and it sucked.
Now,
you want to know what? I take that back. I take it back. I built my own website and then I was like, I need to revamp this. $5,000. I spent $5,000 to revamp my website.
We literally just did this for a client. We didn't rip them off because they're a really, really awesome client of ours, but they're like, we need a brand new website. I was like, dude, you're a local business and you don't plan on expanding much beyond your local area. Like, your Google business profile is most important. It's nice to have a website. I'm going to say the cardinal sin that SEOs all make fun of this: make a Wix site, because Wix has an awesome SEO or an awesome SEO AI integration, and it will just build your website for you. In 30 minutes, we had a carbon copy of the website that already existed with new design and better form fill features. Just doing that alone took their leads from 1 a day to 4 a day because people could fill out a form. So, with the example Aaron just gave, and Aaron was doing this a while ago, $23,000 in that first year, and let's just adjust for inflation, $30,000 if you just start using the AI tools. And I know I shouldn't say this because I'm a marketer, but like at the end of the day, I tell this to every single client. I'm like, I am not going to rip you off. I'm going to tell you directly exactly what I can and what I cannot do, and only take the amount of money that is representative of how much I feel my team and my team's time and my time is worth. So don't get tricked by people. You don't have to buy any fancy. I'm like giving this away to you right now for just pure content creation. We're not talking about strategy or remarketing. I think that does require a little bit of strategizing there. Just start doing stuff and start creating. Save yourself $30,000, $40,000 from working with these agencies who are essentially, oh my gosh, I could go off on this forever. This is like a really big, like passion, like a passionate thing for me.
You and me both, because I just remember when I was like, because it's when my business was doing really well. And I was like, we need to have a nice website. And I just remember they built it for $5,000, which was nothing. Like for me, I was like, oh, $5,000. Okay. I thought it was gonna be like 20. So $5,000. And then they had it in they created it in a spot. What's it called? What's that called? It doesn't matter.
Hosting
where
service
I had
server.
like, yeah, like where I had zero access to
Oh.
like make changes and stuff. And so they controlled my website, which really pissed me off. And then if I wanted to, I think I was dealing with you, Alex, when I was trying to like figure out how to move it from God, what's like the build word, like it wasn't WordPress, it was some horrible
CMS,
program that they CMS to build it, and it was like going to just be a nightmare and I think they did it on purpose, so if anyone tried to leave and go to a different CMS, you couldn't, or it was going to cost me a lot of money to do so. So I don't know, I think we're I'm getting off on a tangent, but yeah, don't have someone else build your website, especially with these blue collar type businesses. You don't need to have this like crazy super, I use robust all the time. I need a thesaurus. Like robust 80-page website. You need to have like your landing page, your home page, contact form, and about us, and that's about it. They need like 3 to 4 pages is all you really need, and you could do that yourself. Especially with Alex was just saying with the Wix, we need them as a sponsor. There's an AI tool that you just click a button and it makes it for you. God, that would have been so awesome when I had started my business. That I would have 100% would have used that.
Yeah, I mean, you're going from like I don't know how many like. I was like talking to like students about this. I showed them a website made by a professional website designer. Then I showed them that Wix website, and I said, "Which one do you like more?" And they like obviously pointed to the Wix one. Like I wouldn't tell a story where they didn't. They're like, "That one looks like way better." I'm like, "Someone charged someone $5,000 for this. I charged someone $500 for this." So if you're wondering if you can like go and like start making money like as like a marketer, like go and do these things, but to all of you people who are listening to this that are working on your on your businesses from a marketing standpoint, I just beg of you, do not do like, because essentially it's like it's the antithesis of unsexy businessmen. Like we talk about, I'm just going to say it. LegalZoom charges you $1,000 to set up your LLC and then charges approximately $125 a year to be your registered agent. We sell you a course at a fraction of that price that not only shows you step by step how to set up your LLC, how to get your EIN number, et cetera, it also has a bunch of other stuff there that you can use, like templates so you can do your social media posts, how to set up your Google business profile, et cetera. All of those things, setting up an LLC with LegalZoom, $1,000. Getting a Google business profile set up by some scammy company, probably $1,000. So you're at $2,000, like right there just for those two things. There's so much that you can do on your own, and it's not time consuming anymore. I don't know, man. I'm just like, I think it's because I've just been on so many calls recently with people who are like, yeah, so like our agency, I have another example. The first example I gave was 60,000 to 15,000. Hey, can you like take a look at our Google ads? And like, I just go jump in there. I'm like, I have no idea what they are doing. My guess is you don't pay them very much. Like, yeah, we pay them 1,000. I was like, they will never do the work that you need them to do for you. So essentially, this is almost like an agency beware section. Like when people are saying they're going to do stuff for you, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. And you're like, Alex, but you charge so little. Like, yeah, if you find me, fantastic. But most people are not me. Most people are trying to make the most amount of money possible off of people. And that's just not, and Aaron's saying, like, in our previous episode, when Aaron was talking about like taking care of his employees for whatever, he's like, obviously you can't give them like all of the money, but like be the boss that you want them to be. My thing would be like, be the agency that you wish that you had. Any agency owners listening out there, like, that's what I want for you. End of
Well,
soapbox two.
it's funny just because you mentioned that the whole scammy like business. Again, this is why one of the reasons we started Unsexy Businessmen is because there's so many businesses like that out there that just take advantage of these like, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed new entrepreneurs that they'll take care of everything for only I'm not it was I'm not going to say his name, but I probably accidentally will. It was a previous guest on our podcast. I was talking to him. He's like, yeah, I had my employee reach out to this company and like, dude, it was pretty sweet. They set up their LLC, they got the registered agent all hooked up, and they took care of everything. It was only like $2,500. Like $2,500. I was like, Eric. Dude, I was like, you should have just sent him he could have learned how to do it in his state for free. That's what I told him. I was like, go to Unsexy Businessman, type in your state. I literally walk through every single state. I go onto the state's website and walk through how you set up your LLC. I was like, he could have done that for free. And he's just like, well, there's some other stuff that he does too. I was like, no, he doesn't.
I was like, no, there's
that dude. I was like, dude, that thing just totally your employee just got ripped the F off. And yeah, so that's kind of what, like, we give you the tools in order to set all this stuff up by yourself.
Yeah, and then with AI to like bring it all back to we essentially have a low cost because like to my knowledge, I do not think there is an AI that will register an LLC for you. I imagine any.
I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust
it. And any
right
AI
now.
that is, you're still going to have to fill out all the information that it's going to go and register. Like that's the thing that pisses me off about a lot of things. Like, so what's your name? What's your address? It's just like you are already doing the literally every single step for the company who's then going to go register you for $1,000.
It's so like, crazy, dude. That's so funny you said that. So here, sorry, Alex, to cut you off, but like, this happened to me recently. I was for one of our other businesses, and I was going to set up, it was for sam.gov. It was when I first got into it. I thought I was on the sam.gov website. Dude, they do such a good job of making you think you're in the right website. And I started filling stuff out, and then all of a sudden I was like, what this looks different. What is going on? It was a company that essentially had mirrored exactly what the sam.gov website looked like. And I went in and entered it, and then I just, because I'd done it so many times, I was like something's off here. And so I wasted, 15 minutes being on the wrong. So my whole point is make sure whenever you're signing up for your LLC, because those companies are really, really good at making you think you're on a government website and you're actually on theirs, and you'll get to the end and you go hit process, like, good, we can get this process for you for $350. Or you're like, wait, what? Why? It's like, plus the filing fee. I'm like, wait, I wasn't on the actual state website. Just always make sure that you are on the correct site. I don't know if this has anything with AI. They probably used AI to trick you into thinking that you were on the right website. But yeah, always make sure.
Well, I think these stories all just come back to AI is going to help you avoid people who are trying to take advantage of you. Like, because essentially all of the things, like, so I'm thinking marketing. Within marketing, you have blog, landing page, website, social media, ads, like getting ads set up. Like if you ask it does a pretty decent job. Like, you may need a little expertise, like, hey, I want to do like Google search ads or something like that. Give me the information that I need for Google search ads. I bet you it will give you your headlines, your descriptions, and then you can just copy paste those in. Then you add your images, etc. It's it's never been easier for business owners, just especially if you're incredibly localized and it doesn't really require anything except for money, to get people to give you calls. Like, use this tool so that you aren't giving money, like, and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that I'm sure you would end up spending that could have been buying a new van. That could have been
Right.
paying an
Yes.
employee a bonus. That could have been paying an employee more. Like, everything has a cost. So if you can mitigate as much of those costs as possible using tools like AI, it's going to be awesome. And start getting used to it now, because who knows what cool tools they're going to have in the future. Like, we're already just able to diagnose zero, what's that called? Stage 0 cancer way better with AI than we are at the human level. You're a plumber. What AI tool is there going to be where you just drop in some gross thing and it lets you know like where the problem is. It lets you know where the leak is. It does a full mapping of the house's piping structure, et cetera, et cetera. Carpet cleaning. You can go in, you take a picture of the room, and then it goes, hey, this is the exact, I'm making up bullshit. I have no
Sure.
idea. Like, this is the perfect way to carpet clean this. Oh, you see that stain right there? It's going to need this amount of an application of this
This product.
pet stain
Yes.
remover, like,
Yep.
or whatever it is. Like,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
only going to get better. So you have to get good at it now.
Yes. No, I completely agree. The tools that will be coming out in the next 10, 15 years, maybe in 5 years, it's just going to be a benefit. But the nice thing about that is they still need you. The customer still needs you
Right.
in order to use that AI, as opposed to, I mean, you see all of these layoffs that are happening at all these tech companies. It's because AI has taken over those. And this goes back to the beginning. That's what's so great about these businesses that you're starting, is they are AI proof, and AI is only going to be a benefit to you. So you don't have to worry about all these people that are fear mongering about AI taking people's jobs. They're not taking your jobs. And so if you're already established, if this is why you need to establish your business now, because it's not going to be too long before a lot of these people are realizing, all right, my coding job isn't going to exist anymore. I need to start something else. And so you're going to get this like wave of people that are starting these unsexy businesses. But if you've already started it and you're already using like AI to your benefit, you're just way ahead of the curve, and you're set up to be in a position where it doesn't matter anyway. Like, you've already built your client base, you already built the systems that you need to have a successful business, and you're in a great spot, as opposed to these people that are still trying to figure out, like, well, AI is not going to be able to do this or that or that. Yes, it will. It will be able to do this for a lot of these white collar positions, and you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And if you're asking yourself, like, okay, cool, I have to use AI. Thanks for telling me I have to use AI. Like, where do I start? This is going to sound so condescending. Just Google, like, whatever your need is. Google AI chatbot, Google AI SMS messaging, Google AI email marketing, Google, and then you are going to have to put like some work into it. But it's like one of these things I was talking to with one of my clients. They're just like, couldn't we just like automate all of these processes and not have to manually add anything into a sheet? I'm like, 100%. It will take this number of hours to get this set up, but you will save from these manual data entry people over time tens of thousands, if not hundreds, depending on how long your company lasts, hundreds of
Sure.
thousands of dollars. Are you willing to spend $30,000 now to save $300,000 over the next 30 years? They said no. Uh, but my point to you all who are listening to this is just, you just have to put in a little bit of time now, and it's going to alleviate so much pain for you later. What is the pain point that you have right now? Like, it's employee retention. Okay. Employee retention tools, AI. It's marketing. AI marketing tools. You just name whatever your pain point is, add AI to it, and then go start testing out all of those different things. See which ones works for you, which ones like cost the least amount of money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then start using it. And then it's just like, oh, cool. Like, saves me, like, in that same survey I was talking about, people say it saves them on average 3 hours a week. What would you do with an extra 3 hours a week? That's a cleaning or 2 if you're doing carpet cleaning. That's a couple
Mhm.
of, it's a couple of car detailing clients if you're a car detailer, like, that is not an insignificant amount of time, and that number's only going to grow. This is just beginning. That number is going to save you more and more time as it goes on.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I'm actually surprised it's that low. It's only 3 hours. If I had these tools back when I started, it would have saved me way more than 3 hours. It would have been like 10 to 15 hours a week of just all like the manual entry stuff and following up with customers and sending out emails and doing all that stuff. Dude, it was hours when, especially when you start getting bigger, that it would have saved me. So I think 3 hours, I'll believe the statistic, that just sounds low for
Yeah.
what it can actually be doing. And you're right, Alex. Like it's just going to get more and more and more where you're not having to do like I would be in the office, like just even like automating invoicing and stuff like that would be so nice. I would spend hours because we had so many clients sending out invoices at the end of the month. There's just a lot of so there's a lot of stuff like that you're right. It's going to eventually, if it's not already saving you at least 3 hours a week, it's going to be
More.
10 to 20 hours a week, and then tons of money of not having to hire, a secretary or an admin to take care of these things. It just, dude, it is a great time to be an unsexy business owner. It really, really is.
100%. Any other AI things before I switch over to business advice?
Not that I can think of. Just go start your business, man, like, or woman.
There's
Like,
never a
this
better
is
time.
it's not there's not a better time. There really isn't a better time to go out and start your business. Here's my shameless plug. Go if you don't understand how to start a business or you got a lot of questions, go check out Unsexy Businessmen, our course. It's I never want to say the price. I don't know if it's going to like increase or decrease, but it's a fraction of any other course that you're going to buy, and it has hours and hours. In fact, one of the sections covers AI, so and how to use it and implement it. So just honestly, go check that out. I wish I would have had this when I started my business. It would have saved me just I can't even calculate the amount of hours it would have saved me, but like tens of thousands of dollars and lots of mistakes that it would have saved me. So if you have any interest in starting a business, just go check that out.
Yeah. All right. Let's switch over to business advice. All right. Remember, as always, unsexybusinessmen at gmail.com. We got a couple of short ones today, but they look nice, very cleaning related. Hi, unsexy businessmen. We had a customer who swore we ruined her carpet, even though it was already trashed before we got there. She's now threatening to leave bad reviews unless I refund her. What's the best way to handle a situation like this without tanking our online reputation? Aaron.
Yeah, this didn't happen all the time, but it happened, several times. If it wasn't like throughout my career as a carpet cleaner, if it wasn't like just every year, you just run into crazy people. Like that's what it honestly is. The best way you can do this is to prevent this from happening is you always when you first get there, you set up expectations. Dude, we went to this house one time, and when we called them, like, all right, we kind of wanted to know what they wanted the carpet cleaning for, if anything specific. And they were like, yeah, we have like a couple of stains we want to get out. And we got there and it looked like they did oil changes in their living room because I'm not joking, dude. It was like, there was probably 50 like black spots of oil that were in there. And so the first thing we did is set expectations. The second thing we did, so we're just like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're not 100% of this is all going to come out, but we want to let you know kind of we're going to do everything in our power to get it out. And then you always take before and after pictures. And so we went and did that job, and we did before and after pictures, and we actually got it almost all out. I think there might have been one that didn't come out all the way, but it looked 1,000 times better than it did. And then she called us the next day. She's like, I'm very disappointed with the results. And I was like, do you remember what your carpet looked like before we got there? And she didn't threaten to leave us bad reviews, but it was one of those things where sometimes you just got to bite the bullet. And I was like, fine. Some people just want to take advantage of you. So You have to do the kind of the calculus of, is this $300 job worth a bad review that might lose us, thousands of dollars in revenue in the future because someone saw a bad review. But the other thing I would do too, I it depends on where I was. Like if I was later in my career where we were doing really well, all I would do is I'd be like, hey, listen, here are the before and after pictures. We took out a ton of stains. I can give you a partial refund if that's what you want. And if she still wants to go leave a bad review, you can respond to that bad review. And then you just say very nicely, you say exactly what happened, the amount of stains that you got out. I can't remember. Can you leave in a response? Can you leave pictures like to a review? I don't know if you can, because I would
I
leave
don't
a
think so.
response of here's the before and here's the after picture. I don't know what you were expecting. We did give you a partial refund because there was one stain we weren't able to get out, but and then you let all the normal people that read that review make the judgment on that.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like necessarily a charge it to the game, but like what Aaron said there, it's you just have to make the cost analysis where it's just like, do I let go of the money? I'd say most importantly is make sure that you have that person's number saved, and if they ever call you again, you never work with them again.
Yeah, I would actually do that. I had so many phone numbers that just said like
Crazy.
crazy oil lady, crazy oil stains lady. Don't answer. Yeah, you kind of have to do that.
Yeah. Okay, question number 2. Hey guys, I landed my first big janitorial contract. Congratulations! With a local office building, but they pay net 60. Meanwhile, I've got to cover payroll and supplies every week. What's your advice for managing cash flow when you're waiting on those bigger checks to clear? If you don't know what pay net 60 means, it's they have 60 days to pay the money. That
Yeah,
was me. That
the
was me just adding for anyone that
yeah.
doesn't. Sorry, was
I
that
didn't
mansplaining?
No, because when it's so funny, the first time I had a client, they're like, yeah, and then we do net 30. I was like 30%? Like net, what's a net 30 mean? I think I had to Google it. I was like, I don't know what that means.
You're like, okay.
So yeah. The first thing I would do is I to prevent this from happening, I've actually never seen a net 60. That's insane. Like net 30 is pretty typical. We might have had a net 45 on like a giant client, maybe. Actually, no, I don't think we ever had anything that was just net. It was always net 30. So it's weird that you have a net 60. That's kind of crazy. Um, if you want to have something to be able to cover all of the costs and things like that, you could. I don't know if I'm gonna get roasted for this. You could have like a business line of credit with whoever you're banking through, and that way, if something like this does come up, especially in the beginning, you can cover those costs and then obviously pay it off as soon as you get that money in from your client. The other thing too is like the importance of setting money aside. Like you want to have money set aside for situations exactly like this. And that's what I would do. I had an account that was like the rainy day account. And if for some reason, because you're not just net 60, but you're gonna have clients that just take a long time to pay anyway, even if it is a net 30 or net 15, whatever it is. And so you want to make sure that you have that money, just start from the beginning, setting money aside for when situations like this happens where a client's not paying on time. You can still pay your employees, you can still pay, all the taxes and everything like that. That's how you have to do it. But if you're in a spot where you can't afford or you don't have the money because you just started, build a good relationship with your bank, and you should be able to do a business line of credit. And just as soon as you get that money in, um, pay it off. So you don't want to be paying a bunch of interest on something like that. But that's just like if you're in a really tight spot, you can always do that.
So I assume from this email too that you are transitioning. I just assume you have employees, or else you like you're because you said payroll. Um, so I assume that you're transitioning a lot of these employees over to like working on this new commercial building that you're working on. I mean, you yourself could just take the L. Like I don't know if like is this the only thing that you're going to be working on now moving forward? So it's like one of two things. You're customer or your employees keep working on the other projects that have been making them money, and that keeps making you money, and then you're the one who's doing the commercial cleaning. I don't know how many
Yeah.
people are needed for the building, and then you just wait until that net 60, and then you just go, oh glory. So it's going to be like a tight couple of months, but that's something that you
Yeah.
could do as well. Is just like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm taking the L on this one, but you're not even taking an L. Like, you're taking an L for 2 months, and I don't know your entire financial situation. I think what Aaron said protects you against this, but if it's just like, I have no money, like right now, it's like, all right, cool. Looks like you're doing this so that your employees can continue to make money for you.
Yeah, because as soon as you stop paying your employees, they are definitely going to stop working for you. So that's never an option. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, you could do that. Just go do the cleaning yourself. I did that. I go do the cleaning myself. It's not, it sucks or whatever, but you kind of got to make those sacrifices. But what I would do is I would just tell them like, hey, we have to, and tell them why. Like, hey, we need to do net
Fair.
30 on these. I have to pay my employees, and waiting 60 days to get paid doesn't work. I mean, if this is like some massive client that you don't want to lose, maybe you make that sacrifice. But I would be real with the client. Like, I can't make payroll work if it's 60 days before we get paid. Can we move this to a 30-day, a net 30, and see what they say?
Yeah. And I imagine too, there also has to be like some sort of compromise where, like, eventually, once we have the cash flow going into the bank account, yes, we can go to the net 60. But for right now, like, I need at least half of this within
To
30
cover
days.
payroll.
Half, yeah, just
Yeah.
just whatever
Yeah.
that number is to cover payroll, and just be like, and then once we've been doing this for a while, like, we can start going to that
Yeah.
net 60 because I
Sure.
now have like that
Sure.
buffer.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully they're cool. If they're not, I think you just work on it. I don't know. I've never had to
Yeah.
do this before, but if I have had clients who've net 60. So
Oh, have you? That was super rare. I don't remember of ever having a net 60.
they were
So not even rare. Like,
it
just
was a
didn't happen.
multi-billion-dollar company, not to like give away
Oh,
who the company was, but it was like, yep,
Google.
it's just like net
Gotcha.
60. So you're just like, okay, sounds good. Like, and we had like other clients, and so it wasn't like we were strapped for cash. Like, we were able to make payroll
Sure.
with all of our other clients, and I was just like, oh, cool. Every 60, like after that first check came in, it's like, all right, who cares?
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
It's like,
Yeah, I guess
we're
that's
good
true.
now.
If it's a massive company, you kind of got to make those sacrifices because you don't want to lose out on that revenue. But yeah, net 60 is kind of crazy. Maybe it is a massive company. I'd be curious to know. Maybe follow up. I would be curious to know who's doing a net 60 is kind of is insane. That's
That it,
crazy.
like, I would say that was one very, very rare. Like, that's the only client I ever had that did, and everyone was net 30.
Yeah.
Like, we have 30 days to pay this off. Just like, okay,
Yep.
sounds good. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Oh, and before I forget, unsexybusinessmen@gmail.com, or leave comments on YouTube so that we can answer them for you here, and we will give you a chat next week. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Unsexy Businessmen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Now go get to work.